Soul
Why does every guy cheat on you? Trust me, I know. How come girls always call you their friend? I can tell you. We'll talk about your strengths and we'll talk about emotions. Secrets of Birthdays, now live for purchase. Check out yours at secretsofbirthdays.com. Namaste, and welcome to Soul Horoscopes Orbits Edition. From my webcam to yours, I'm Christopher Rayman Witecki, your astrologer and soul biographer, here to help you put the pieces of your karmic story together. Well, the sun is in Libra. In fact, we're about halfway through the Libra transit. We'll move from step 13 to step 19 this week. We're focusing on human relations with the sun in Libra, our own relationship to ourselves. We're trying to negotiate peace, and we're stuck in a grand square. But we'll make some progress this week with that grand cross. Emotionally, it's pretty intense. It starts in Scorpio, then we have Love Fest on Tuesday with the moon in Sagittarius. Then it gets really serious again for 2 days in Capricorn. We got to make some serious decisions. Then we're thinking about the future or feeling about the future this weekend. The moon signs most affected are Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, and Aquarius. And the moon signs going to the dark side this week are Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, and Leo. Now looking at orbits, man, how our own chakras are affected. The moon, of course, is going to affect mostly the throat chakra this week. That's bringing yellow light to the blue light. It also goes up into the third eye, and don't be surprised if you don't have some crazy dreams. The sun is orbiting our throat chakra as well. So literally, we're getting things all around the throat, all around protection, all around that kind of feeling of choking us up, right? And then Mars is causing heartache to some degree because it's orbiting the heart chakra. So if there's any kind of heart loss, it's a bit more painful than usual right now. Looking at the planets, that trine from Black Lilith up to Saturn means that as you take responsibility and draw emotional boundaries with yourself, you will immediately see old karma cut away thanks to Black Lilith. And Black Lilith moves to step 13 this week, which means we're seeing a whole new reality. Now with the Grand Cross or Grand Square, it will begin to shake loose just a little bit. The sun is out of Black Lilith's grasp, but now is in the grasp of Jupiter. And then at the end of the week, we're going to see the Grand Cross hit kind of a climax. And then, of course, the Grand Trine with Black Lilith, which is saying as you draw emotional boundaries with yourself, you cut away from negative karma, and you move on to your spiritual path, which is a good thing. Zooming in, there's a party going on in Scorpio. Mercury has now joined the Scorpio party. The moon crosses this party this week, and of course, Venus is at the top. So we are focusing on the small details of trust, being responsible on the mid details of trust, and dreaming about the high details of trust. And of course, I'll have all those details of trust when you get upstairs. But before we talk about you, let's grab the Ascension elevator, shall we? And head on upstairs for a bird's eye view of you.
Folks, this is your captain speaking. We realize you have a choice in the astrologers you choose to fly with, and we'd just like to thank you for flying with Christopher Witecki.
Namaste, ambassadors and Gemini risings, and welcome to 33,000 feet for a bird's eye view of you. And there's so much going on right now. I mean, we're being scattered and pulled in every direction. It feels like living as a Gemini. I feel like a Gemini. And I have a son who's a Gemini, by the way, so I feel like I'm very close to the Gemini spirit. I get closer every year. I also have Saturn in Gemini. So where is Gemini? Well, we've got a tug of war going on between your heart, to some degree, and what the world says you are, or what you thought you had to be in the world. This is really a change of personal dreams, stepping into what your heart wants. And this is an area you thought you were on track with about 2 years ago, maybe about a year and a half. Saturn went through Libra, clearing out your relationship to your inner child, introducing you to creativity, introducing you to what love can be, introducing you to serious joy, as I like to say. And then Saturn went into Scorpio last fall, and where's the joy? It's like that old 80s commercial, where's the beef? Remember that? That lady got fired from that commercial. Remember that? It's so bad that they would fire an old lady. So speaking to inner child, this week it's about rescuing the inner child, rescuing the inner prince or princess from whatever it's held captive from. That was kind of last week. And this week it's about stepping in and getting on the path of what your heart wants. But other things in the way are your own personal trust issues, money, as always, and like I said, society or friends bickering or pulling on you, or getting in the way. So as we begin this week, we're wrapping up chapter 1, which is the love portion. Do you love yourself? Can you turn on your creativity? Can you be inspired? Does your inner child run the show? You are ruled by Mercury, but does Mercury rotate around the sun, your heart? Or does your heart rotate around Mercury, your minds? And in many Gemini's cases, I think it's the latter, that you're trying to get your heart to rotate around what you think it should rotate around versus what your heart really wants. So you're stepping into true light casting this week and the true potential of creative potential and desire, your personal dreams. Now, the sun will go from a breakthrough with your inner child on Saturday, Sunday, all the way to taking action and moving ahead, I believe, with dreams the following weekend. So quite a quantum leap of dreams and hopes and aspirations. Saturn in Scorpio, which is a big part of this puzzle, deals with how you manage your moment. Believe it or not, if you want dreams to come true, it comes down to changing how you connect to the moment, which you will do next month, but it's still very important this month. So Mercury, your ruling planet, is focused on reality right now. So we're going to see the crispest Geminis we have seen in a long time, very sharp and alert, at least until Mercury retrogrades. Then we see something we've never seen before, the dark side of Gemini. But Mercury, as you can see, I'm going to have to relaunch this graphic, crosses the North Node this week, which means God Universe is going to whisper in your ear, hey, it's this. Saturn at 10 degrees says, do not slip into the old lifestyle, the old way of being in the moment, the old games at school, or the old crap at work. Don't fall into that. You're going to heal that. And Venus at 28 says, you're planting seeds right now to a new lifestyle that probably won't blossom for at least a year. But you are planting seeds, and that's a good thing. Then lastly, Jupiter in Cancer. This is another part of the drama. This is the part that's trying to help Geminis raise their self-esteem and make money. And Geminis are well on their way, as with the Gemini risings. What's important to note is that Black Lilith is saying you have to live without self-esteem issues. You have to live with self-confidence. You have to walk for a while with no issues of beating yourself up or lowering your prices. And in that walking, you're going to have a breakthrough. You're going to understand, you've never had life without self-esteem issues or with lacking self-confidence or with self-confidence or with this much self-confidence. And so it's a new day. But then Jupiter is also pushing the limits of where you can make money, what you could manifest. And so although you're feeling like you're breathing easy on self-esteem issues, you're being challenged. You're challenging yourself to push the limits of what you can manifest. So that's really rattling the nerves of the twins. Now, looking at the week. Whoops, wrong button. Looking at the week. Whoops, wrong button. There we go. Looking at the week. We're going to be looking at several planets and their long-term story, and then we're going to look at the day by day. Now, Jupiter in Cancer is the part that is focused on self-esteem, soul capital, and expanding that money. And the self-esteem this week is going to be somewhat challenged. You want to decide and commit to what you're worth or what you want to be worth. You want to love and trust, and you want to go for it Tuesday and hold all through Saturday. All right? So that's the story of money. Don't act on money till Love Fest Day. On Saturn, which is the story of you're living in the moment, you want to make sure you do not slip into the old lifestyle. If you're a Gemini that always used to talk in class and didn't pay attention, pay attention. If you're a Gemini that spaces out and doesn't listen, pay attention and listen. Do what you know you need to do to plug into reality, and you're going to find healing come as soon as Thursday. When it comes to who you are in the world, right now, love and trust that it's fine. I wouldn't make any friendship changes. I wouldn't make any title changes. I wouldn't make any changes in what you're going for in the world. Just love and trust. And then Neptune at 2 degrees says you want to keep a self-compassionate attitude at all times with where your career is. As far as the future is going, just be compassionate. You've got so much other stuff going on. Be compassionate. All right? So looking at all of that. On Sunday, Uranus rules the day, and so there might be an inner child let down, like your heart might be let down, or your heart might be surprised. If you're let down, your heart will be surprised soon. So just go with the flow and see where the universe is bringing you. No matter what, on Sunday, you're super hyper aware, feeling every bump and every crack in the road. And that's because the moon is in Scorpio, and you're being asked to grow up and let go of the old lifestyle and embrace the new. So it's a real, kind of touch and twisty day. It feels like, thinking of putty. It's like getting pulled in different directions on Sunday. Monday, it's cloudy, much of the same, hyper aware. The moon in Scorpio makes you very sensitive to your environment and to your moment. Tuesday, it's Love Fest Day, and this Love Fest Day might give you some sort of a crush or some sort of heavy patter or a heavy feeling of loneliness. That's possible too. But if you do feel that loneliness, don't worry. Love Fest Day on Tuesday is planting the seeds to potential relationship and love that will come around Thanksgiving in the United States. So whatever Love Fest Day is, make sure you tell yourself that you love yourself. Make sure you have that mirage working and tell everyone you love that you love them. Now, in the day, I think you're going to find peace and harmony kind of come to your inner child. It's going to be a playful day no matter what. Even if you don't have love, you'll be hopeful that it's coming, I promise, on Tuesday. So it's a good day. Wednesday's a cloudy day. The moon is in Sagittarius, partly cloudy and sentimental. This might be where you take more of a mopey approach to relationships, and so you might feel a bit mopey. But let's remember, this month is about your inner child. It's about championing your inner child, being there for your own inner child. And so whatever you're feeling on Wednesday, you want to use the intuitive day to log into your inner child and ask, hey, what do you really want in there? What is it important to you? So Wednesday is that day. On Thursday, you're going to decide and make a commitment. Basically, you're going to have to decide that A, you're never going to get what that your heart wanted over there. So maybe it's a final turning away from a love story that you were too attached to. But also B, who do you love now? And maybe Love Fest Day did raise an eyebrow. And maybe Love Fest Day did say to you, there's something hot here around the corner. And so there's a potential for a great new hope at the same time. So basically, you need to decide and commit to what your heart wants. The moon in Capricorn will make you very jittery and bouncy and hard to relax about the no. You might have to tell somebody something very important or get something off your chest, or you're going to have to get something off your chest, and the boundary of talking or opening up might be overwhelming on Thursday, making your decision even harder. But don't worry, the decision is on Thursday, action on Friday. So on Friday, you want to go ahead and tell that person or act or go ahead and express it. It might be that you're jumping into a situation and you're opening up to intimacy and you're opening up to something radical and new. And you might be opening up to a business opportunity or signing contracts, because opposing this is the Jupiter energy emotionally. And so this might be part of what's testing your faith in manifestation, making money, or etc. So Friday, take action, move forward. There's a chance of Randy on Friday, and you might be feeling vulnerable as well. Then on Saturn Day, the tug of war or the fears between your inner child getting what it wants and your concern that you won't get paid for it come to a head. So on Saturday, the fear of money versus dreams comes to a head. And you have to really be kind of dedicated to your money on one side and to your dreams on the other, and not make them, mutually exclusive. At the end of the day, they can each be manifesting on their own separate paths because they both orbit around you, the sun, not Mercury, the sun. Your dreams and your money will align. But at this point on Saturday, you're having to trust that they're both going on their own paths and they're going to be A-okay. And of course, Jupiter has pushed the envelope for money. You might have great need for money where you hadn't before. So taking a sneak peek at next week, the real epicenter is Wednesday. A light bulb goes on. That's a Mercury real day. So you guys are going to really feel good on Wednesday. And then the full moon will be quite a tug of war between your inner child and something society says or something society wants. Or perhaps you'll be feeling super impatient. But it looks like that's going to be the heavy day, the full moon on Friday. So now we're going to float down to Earth, my Geminis and Gemini risings. And when we get there, I've got some news for you. And then I've got another serious joy toy for you after this. At SoulMart.me, we have prices and specials worth jumping for. Like the Guardian Agency, our digital network that'll watch over you through email 7 days a week, 7 times a day. Come join our free open house next week. Just navigate to SoulMart.me. While you're there, fill out your date of birth and email address in our custom form, and you'll get 7 days. No credit card required to sign up. Come on down. And while you're there, you might want to also check out the Orbits Report and Jupiter Gets Emotional. Now just $11.11 for limited time and for immediate download. At SoulMart.me, mind, body, and soul improvement. Parachute not included. My Geminis and Gemini risings, and now for your serious joy toy. If you're just joining us, this is a little game I give you for the whole week, and Geminis do like games, and I hope you played your game, because this week you're going to find my game always builds on the next game. So last week it was, imagine if money was no object. Remember, you're working on your inner child, and a lot of times we let money and jobs and stuff get in the way, so I said, hey, pretend money is no object. Go out there and tell me, what would your heart desire? What would you do? Well, this week, basically, I want you to role play for you to cast your dreams. So take that serious joy of money not being an object. You're going to still be in that space, in that little fantasy. But now you're going to role play that it's time to see who's invited to start your personal dreams. Who's with you and who's not with you? Who will you take with you on your personal dreams and who will you not? And if your personal dreams involve a movie or falling in love, then who's going to the wedding? Who's going to be in the movie? All of that. And it's very important that you decide who gets to come and who doesn't. And I'll explain that later next week. But your serious joy toy this week is cast your dreams. Who's invited on that love boat of fun and who's not invited? That's the question. All right, Geminis and Gemini risings, I love you so much. Have a great 7 days. Namaste, and live, love, be. Seen all of that? Like you're like a booger thrower? Is what you are? You're one
Mud
of those?
pies. Mud pies.
Okay, fine. Mud pies, boogers. Pick your goo. But whatever it is, you're a goo thrower. You throw goo at people. I know it. And you know, I know those little goo throwers. They're always cute. You can see inside their heart is good as they're throwing a spit wad at you. But as the target of the goo throwers, I just have to say, it's not fun on the receiving end.
But we always clean you guys up afterwards. We never leave you high and dry.
Lick you clean.
That's true.
At least I
Strangely enough, the goo throwers do turn into people that get you high in high school. You're right. You're right. That is an interesting arc of character development in the United States anyway.